Hello everybody. To do this assignment, you'll need your notebook. You'll need to write down all the problems. You will need to show your work. And you'll need to work quickly. So this is a good time to leave conversations off and just get work done. Voice level 0 and make sure you're getting work done. So all of these problems will be on a quiz, not a quiz, but an assignment in Google Classroom. So do the work now and then you'll have all of the answers when it's time to take that assignment. Remember, adding fractions, you need a common denominator. And you can do that by doing the rule of 4, or you can use the least common multiple. So I'm going to do the rule of 4 on this one because it gives me the same thing as the least common multiple. Here's my new fraction. 3 times 5 is 15. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 1 is 3. Denominators are the same. Add the numerators and you get 13 over 15. 13 over 15 cannot be simplified anymore, so that is your final answer for that problem. If you look at these two denominators right here, you can see, not when I highlight over them you can't see, you can see that 2 and 4 are going to be simple to work with because 4 is a multiple of 2, so there's no need to change both denominators. 1/4, leave that there, and then multiply this by 2 and this by 2. 1/2 times 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, so 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Okay, that's really pretty simple. Denominators are the same here, so add the numerators and you get 3 over 4, and that cannot be simplified anymore either. By the way, Mr. Substitute, please pause the video and give people time to work. So show that next problem, and then it would be a good time to pause. Go ahead and pause the video, and then we'll work the problem. I'm doing the rule of 4 on this one also because the denominators, the least common multiple, gives you the same thing you would get when you use the rule of 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. Same denominators, add the numerator, 7 over 12. Done. Alright, so pause and give people time to work this one. I don't want to use the rule of 4 on this one. I want to use the least common multiple. That is supposed to say LCM. Turns out it says something else. The least common multiple of 4 and 10 is 20. 4 times 5 equals 20. 3 times 5 equals 15. 10 times 2 equals 20. 5 times 2 equals 10. Now I have the same denominators. I can add the numerators and I will get 25 over 20. or 1 and 5 over 20, or 1 and 1/4. If you look at this problem, you probably see something right away that you don't really have to write anything down. In case you didn't, here's a little reminder. Convert 2/4 to 1/2. So now you have 1/2 here and 1/2 here. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1 whole. Rule of 4 on this one. Remember, the rule of 4 gives you 4 multiplication problems. 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6. Add that and you get 11 over 10, or 1 and 1/10. Pause the video, give people time to work. Okay, now that you've done that, this is a good one to use the rule of 4 as well. Five times 3 is 15. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 2 is 10. Looks like it's going to be 16 over 15, or 1 and 1/15. So if you look here, there's 4 and 10. And you could use 40 for your denominator, but it wouldn't be the least common multiple. 20 would be a simpler choice. It is the least common multiple of 4 and 10. Times 5 here, times 5 here, times 2 here, times 2 here. So you get 10 over 20 and 8 over 20. Altogether, that's going to be 18 over 20. But you know that 18 has a factor of 2 and 9, and 20 has a factor of 2 and 10. Divide these both by 2, and you get 9 over 10. Four and 10 again. So just use 20 again for your common denominator. Times 2 here, times 2 here, times 5 here, and times 5 here. 5 over 20 plus 2 over 20 equals 7 over 20. So 10 is a multiple of 2, so there's no need to change both denominators, just change this one. Multiply this side by 5 and this side by 5, so you have 9 over 10 plus 5 over 10 gives you 14 over 10. You can divide these both by 2 and get 7 over 5, or 1 and 2/5.